بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and praying upon his prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sheikh is welcoming everyone to this new episode of your program Live Fatawa. Today is Saturday, Ramadan the 29th. The first question regarding the confirmation of the Hilal of Shawwal, the coming Eid. In regard of this news coming out about some countries have seen the Hilal. Sheikh said he just came out of a meeting with the scholars in North America, and they have concluded so this is kind of an announcement that tomorrow is the completion of this month of Ramadan, and the Eid first day is gonna be on Monday, the May 2nd of 2022. So Sheikh said we have used a rubric, some rules. So number one in that rubric or that ruling or rules, number one is to sight the new moon visually. So in your naked eye, and some of the issues that people would bring up here is the calculation. So the calculation is not actually denying the fact of sighting the moon with your naked eyes. The second point is the diversity or citing that in different Muslim countries or states, meaning like there is Hilal should be cited or seen in more than one country. The third point is to make sure that this Hilal was cited in the big or the large Muslim countries or in America and has been seen by many people. So the majority of the Muslim countries has or have announced that tomorrow is the completion of this month of Ramadan because they could not sight the moon. They couldn't see it. The new moon, I'm talking about the new moon of Shawwal. In the other side, we have heard from like Senegal, Afghanistan, Mali, and Niger. They have seen the new Hilal. We have taken reports to the people or the scientists. So the scientists said it is impossible to see or to sight that hilal or that eclipse uh, because according to the science and physics, we cannot see the hilal or the new hilal at this time. Again, we're not against those countries or those people in these countries. Sheikh says the announcement of the new hilal, it is a part of the ruler or the ruling issues. So, which means if the ruler announced that, it's just to make sure that all people are just united. So, and again, Sheikh is stressing on the how to get the people be united on the beginning of the Siyam and the ending of Siyam and attending the Eid. So for the people of these countries who have seen the moon, we really appreciate and we really value what they have. We respect them, and then we ask their communities to follow what they have witnessed. But again, this is not a must over us here in the States, or must over the other countries, that the majority of the countries. So we've received the reports since the 2 p.m. today. We have received many reports. Some of them are scientific, some of them are fiqhi or shar'i, and then we have taken action and made our decision to follow the majority, especially we have not seen the moon. The last point is about why do we follow the eastern side of the US, not the western part like the Pacific. We usually don't follow the Pacific because if you look at the Pacific, they are behind us of like 2 hours, which means we might wait until it's like midnight to be able to announce if Ramadan is tomorrow or not. So we came up with that decision is to follow the east zone, not the west zone, or not to follow the Pacific zone. So, in addition to that, we try to make sure that the announcement does not cause any difficulty on people, especially if somebody lived in the east zone and he would wait in the west zone. As you know, there is a difference of like 3 or 4 hours between the east or the west. So most of people actually have left the mosque. They went they went to sleep. They are in bed, and then suddenly they don't know if tomorrow is the beginning of Ramadan or the end of Ramadan. So that's another consideration that this fatwa committee has considered in that kind of argument. And in the end, we should say Alhamdulillah that we have come up with a decision that would ease that issue to the majority of people, even either here in the States or in the overseas. So again, we are just concern or confirming that we respect those people in Afghanistan, Senegal, and Niger, and the other countries that have seen the moon. We ask their communities to follow their people, their fuqaha, their ulama. However, it's not must over us here or the rest of the world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from of all of us here and there and make us among those who were accepted as deed. Another question came.
أعمل في مجال المطاولات والتشطيبات، وبعض أعمال التشطيب هذه تكون في محلات لبيع الدخان سموك شوبس، فهل يجوز عمل التشطيبات بمثل هذا النوع من التجارة؟
Somebody said he's working in the construction business, and some of the work here is to, like refurbishing or working on the internal design of some of these stores, and some of these stores actually they are like hookah or smoke shops. So he said, is it jaiz working on that type of places? And also, what is the fatwa or hukm in the money gained out of that work? So the Sheikh said, if like some places or some business, for example, it's easy to say this is actually coming of haram, like somebody is selling wine or selling pig meat only. That's clear, it's haram. So you should not actually, or you should avoid working in such places. But if there is a mix between halal and haram, like for example, a place selling beef and selling pork at the same time, selling water and soft drinks and wine at the same time. So in that case, there is actually like mix between halal and haram. So for the case of the question, it's called a smoke shop. And another place, for example, is selling a lot of stuff, and among them there is like this kind of smoke stuff. So we should finally tell that gentleman or that guy is to purify your source of income and make sure to work in a good place. And we could give him or pass him an advice to purify his money by giving some of them as charity or sadaqah. And as you know, the Amja have issued a decision on that or such issues. Like in especially, it's haram for those Muslims to work in grocery stores or restaurants that they would sell haram, like wine or pork or preparing such stuff. Somebody would say, I only clean plates in these restaurants or these stores. Sheikh says that is still haram because you are still
الإعانة غير المباشرة
acting as a part of that process. Like, for example, you are cleaning a cup or a plate.
معك فيخطئ ولأنه عابد يصلي على كرسي يريد غيره ليصلي ركعتي الجمعة هل هذه صورة البيت؟ لا يلزم أن يكون خطيب الجمعة هو إمام الصلاة
The next question is regarding
إذا أراد
Imam
لأنه
given the Jum'ah sermon or the khutbah of Jum'ah, sitting on a chair. But since he cannot, he is on that chair, he does not, or he cannot, he's not be able to lead the Jum'ah prayer. Is that okay to ask somebody to lead the prayer? Sheikh said yes. There is, it's not must that the one who gives the sermon is the one who lead the prayer. It's two different actions or act of worship. So the next question is about hukm of qunut in the Fajr prayer. Is it okay or not? And is it good in Ramadan or not or outside of Ramadan? Sheikh said, just to follow your imam. If your imam do that, have the qunut, just to follow him. If he doesn't do that, also follow him. It's either in Ramadan or out of Ramadan. Again, to follow your imam, it's good. It's a must. May Allah give you all the best. This is exactly what we have had of questions tonight. So, جزاكم الله خيرا, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you.